Hey, deserving listeners, Single Life. Let's watch.
Mike is a part of my life. We talk.
Are you in love with him, though? Do you love him?
Another good question from Tiffany. By the way, Tiffany said that she went to South Africa to be with Ronald for 4 months, and things didn't go well, which is not a surprise. And then we also, I don't know if I talked about this, I probably didn't in a reaction video, but she left Daniel behind and brought Carly, Ronald and Tiffany's kid. I don't know if Daniel eventually came to South Africa, but he didn't initially go, which is upsetting if he was left behind for 4 months. And also what I'll say is that Ronald, the way that he was reacting to Tiffany, he was really trying to get back with Tiffany over Zoom. I don't know, but he was presenting in a classic intimate partner violence manner in which, and I don't know, I can't say anything about anything, but I will tell you that I've treated people and I've known people in my personal life where they will have a relationship, intimate partner violence, control, maybe not violence, but aggression, threats, that kind of thing. And the victim will eventually leave. And usually there's a cycle to it, or at least emotional leave, or maybe even leave, divorce, breakup. And when the abusive individual wants to get back together, they will present in a very romantic, apologetic way, nice way. There's different versions of this, but Ronald was pursuing her a lot and saying, we have a connection. I love you. I want to be with you. I'll change for you. But I don't even know if he was saying that. But some of the most romantic people on the planet are abusive people. And you're just seeing them in that side of the cycle. Now, some of those abusive people are psychopaths and trying to love bomb you and manipulate you, and they know that. But most actually do have those feelings. The way Ronald was talking to Tiffany was, he was like, I love you, I want to be with you, I love you. So if I would have been there with Tiffany, I would have been like, okay, if he truly loves you and is truly interested in you, is truly compassionate for you and cares about you, when, and this is the whole love bomb litmus test, is if and when you decide to push back and slow the situation down, Ronald will let you. He'll be hurt or he'll be disappointed slightly, but because he has empathy and cares about you, he will let you have that power. But for abusive people and love bombing people, whether it's conscious or subconscious, they are on a road of control, and they also don't tend to consider the other person's feelings. And so when they're love bombing, I want to be with you, move in with me, tell me you love me, break up with that person, marry me again, let's do this. And if you say, I'm considering it, and Natalie was, or not, I keep saying that, Tiffany kept saying it. She kept saying, well, I mean, maybe, but I don't know. I want to think things over. And Ronald, the words he was using were romantic, but his vibe was controlling and aggressive. I don't know if I'm just reading into it. And so that's always the litmus test of love bombing / abuse in that side of the cycle. Because of course, if Ronald really loved her, he'd be like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I'm not going to wait around forever, but, I understand. I get it. I'm disappointed. I'm a little hurt, but I get it. But that's not what Ronald did. He would get upset. And so the insidiousness of it is, if you're in Tiffany's shoes, you are getting all this love, you're getting all this attention, you're getting all, maybe gifts and promises and stuff. And then you start to say, well, I don't know, but we've had such a bad time. So you go, well, I don't know, maybe, but I don't want to go this fast. I don't want to move in with you right away. Let's give it some time, and so I can suss out whether or not you've changed or not. And then you say that, and then the Ronalds of the world will say, no, you need to do this. Like, how come you're doing this to me? I can't believe you're doing this to me. I love you so much. Like, don't you love me? And they'll pressure and pressure. How it is so tricky for some people, because they might come from a background like this, it looks like, wow, they really love me. Look how upset they are that I'm wanting to put the brakes on. This is a sign that this is secure. This is a sign that this person really loves me. This is a sign that the abuse is over. But it's actually the opposite, because it's abusive, in a sense, controlling at the very least, to not allow someone to put the brakes on a love bombing road, right? It's controlling, but in the veil of love, in the veil of how much I care about you, how much I want to be with you. And so I thought I was seeing that with Tiffany and Ronald when the few conversations we saw earlier in the season. I didn't react to it because there wasn't enough to talk about, but for whatever reason I'm talking about it now. And so I was not predicting that Tiffany going to South Africa would work out. She was there for 4 months. I think she's going to eventually talk about how horrible it went. I don't know if it's going to happen in this episode, but anyway, I just thought I'd sort of randomly talk about that.
Oh my
I
God,
have
you are
the
lying.
proof. I have the proof.
Tiffany, stop.
Why would I
Don't tell
lie?
lies. Don't make up bull. Don't make up bull. Get
Okay.
the out of here.
Oh. He thinks I'm this soft little woman who's gonna take it and take it and take it. No more.
Wow.
You man.
Well, so I haven't been reacting much to Tiffany and Ronald, but I have been wondering as to what Ronald's issue is. And there are more and more indications of someone who is abusive. And I don't know, of course, I don't know if it's manufactured or faked or unique, an anomalous behavior from him, but we just saw that he was getting frustrated about something that was happening. He didn't have any rebuttal. He was being accused of still being connected with an ex-girlfriend while he was with Tiffany recently, and then he doesn't really have anything to say, and maybe there's a viable excuse for that, but he gets frustrated. You can see him starting to get distressed, and then he punches the camera. So that, I don't know, but that would be a red flag for someone that, one, has violence in their repertoire of behaviors that they will resort to when they're distressed, that they feel entitled to that it's a solution to them, it's okay with them to do that. And so also when people are, one of the things that you want to look at for yourselves and others is, what do people do under distress? We all go through stress in our life, distress, being accused of things, people judging us, pressure from the outside. Like one example is when you travel, for example, you are going to the airport, you're late for a flight. What do people do? Because it's easy to see ourselves, or maybe even other people, as being calm and cool and collected, but it's important for us to know what we do when we're under distress. And so for some people, they'll drink a lot. Some people will check out. Some people will dissociate. Some people will blame other people. Some people will shame themselves. Some people will sleep. Some people will take other substances. Some people will try to please. Some people will try to calm themselves down. And when someone gets violent, then it says something about what could happen under distress and what might have happened in the past and what might happen in the future. Because, when we're under distress, we don't have a lot of control over our behavior. And let's just rewind that.
A woman who's gonna take it and take it and take it. No more.
Wow.
You man.
Yeah, that didn't look like it was staged or faked that looked like a legit behavior that he engages in when he's upset, when he feels like people are gaining control over him or he's feeling rejected or something. That looked like a legit thing that he has done in the past. I don't know that, obviously, but it looked like that to me.
My gosh. Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm guessing I think they send equipment to the individuals so they can zoom in, and because I think they want to have better cameras than people typically have, and so presumably Ronald now has to pay for that. I don't know.
You man. You. I'm out.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's just a computer and a camera that he's smashing, so, it's equipment that I guess he'll have to pay for. But when people do stuff like that, it's a huge red flag that they would do it to you in a relationship when they're distressed with you. That's usually how abuse starts. It'll be objects. It'll be the wall. They'll punch the wall. They'll throw a chair. They'll pound their fists in the ground or into a table or something. One, that's an indication that if you don't shut up, if you don't do what I want you to do, it's not going to be the chair anymore. It's not going to be the wall. It's going to be your head. It's always the implication that you should always take from that and should consider before engaging in a future relationship with that individual, and or making sure that that individual gets treatment, the abusive individual. And the abusive person often wants you to receive it that way. It'd be one thing if he walked into another room and in the bathroom was just like started punching something for no one else to see, but he punched the camera, and actually it's even more concerning because he's looking at a picture of Tiffany, right? And then he has a camera and he punches the whole thing. So yeah, that's a huge red flag. In fact, I would, for a period of time, I treated mandated individuals who had committed crimes regarding intimate partner violence with their partners, who had been mandated to a year-long treatment program to get them to not be abusive anymore. And occasionally we would have people who had been convicted without ever actually putting hands on their partner. They had thrown chairs and that sort of thing, because in my jurisdiction, that is assault. In a fight, if you're just frustrated at something and you pick up a chair and throw it at the wall, that's different. But if you're frustrated at someone and you pick up a chair and throw it against the wall, that could be considered assault.
I'm out. I'm done. I don't need to listen to a sorry ass saying bullshit, making up bullshit. Love it. Don't follow me to that thing. Don't follow me.
Is Ronald gone?
At least he's gone.
Yeah. I suspect that the relationship between Tiffany and Ronald is, well, I don't know. I don't have much to say necessarily about Tiffany and Ronald, other than Tiffany has issues that I think lead her to consider, has led her not only to engaging in a relationship with him to begin with, but has led to her entertaining the relationship a lot longer than I think a lot of people would want to happen.
I'm not talking to you anymore.
Yeah,
I
you're
choose
thinking
my
of something
country.
totally
Whatever.
different.
I'm crazy, yes.
I didn't even say nothing bad about your country.
Why don't you choose normal woman? I mean, what are you doing? Why you so all the time trash about my country? I'm tired
No
of
one's talking
this.
trash about your country, Natalie. No
Why
one's
you so
talking
this?
trash.
It's not true. It's not like
No
this.
one's talking trash. Bring it in. No one's
I'm
talking
sorry.
trash.
Okay, they're talking about Caesar and how he's going to Ukraine and trying to find a wife, and they were talking with Caesar about why are you deciding to go to Ukraine, and I think Tim said something like girls are us or wives are us or something, where essentially like shopping for a partner, why don't you just date people in your own country? I think there was some implication that Ukraine is a lesser country than the United States, and Natalie got upset and said something along these lines.
I'm not putting down your country. I care about your country a lot. I even
care
went down
about
there,
my country
and
a
I
lot
care about
too.
your country a lot.
But I do think there's a power dynamic that you're not acknowledging. Both of these women said they want to be in a relationship with you, a throuple, a threesome.
Yes, that's right.
And they plan to come to the United States and
Yes.
live in your two-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah, the power dynamic is something to consider, of course, and also it's possible that people are polyamorous. We don't know any information. Caesar just revealed that there are a couple women that want to be with him and want to move in with him or something, so we don't know anything about it. It could be a lot of different things.
I got a huge bed, king-size bed, so we're all going to sleep together.
No.
You're disgusting,
It's
really.
disgusting, Caesar. It is disgusting.
It's not even like that.
Bull. You have such a low opinion of women. It's
Yeah, it's possible. I've never reacted, I don't think, on this channel with Caesar. There just didn't seem to be much to say. He is seemingly a nice enough person trying to find someone. For whatever reason, he continues to utilize these matchmaking services in these other countries. And, I don't know. People meet people. People have preferences. People have a type, if you will. And there's nothing wrong with that. Is it part of him trying to control? Is it exploitative? You could absolutely make an argument for that. But we just don't know enough about the situation. We'd have to talk to the individuals that he is dating, if they feel exploited or they're forced into a situation because of poverty or strife in their country or something. I don't know. There's just a lot of questions.
Now you're judging your own sisters. I don't agree that he should be finding matchmakers in certain countries, but he found two women. Let them try to date. Let's wish him the best. If he gets hurt, sorry. But had a little bit more discernment, but let's wish you the best.
Why does he have to have two of them? Why two?
Why can't he have 3 or 4 or
Why?
5?
Why? If I want to have two, I can have two.
Yeah, I think Tanya understands polyamory. I think she's aware of that, and the rest of the casts are not. So I think that Tanya is, I think, trying to say, like, well, we don't know what's happening. We have no idea what the motivations are. They could be exploiting him. We don't know. So why is everyone jumping to all these conclusions?
Two.
You know what? In a weird, crazy world, maybe these girls really just fell in love with you and want to have a kid with you right now and both want to marry you. Maybe.
Right. I think Tiffany also is more knowledgeable about other types of relationships and motivations. I think Debbie and Natalie are not. Now, might there be something nefarious happening? Absolutely. We've seen that happen on the show many times, but there's just no information.
Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe your issue is you're very gullible.
I didn't spend any money. I didn't give him any money because I don't do that anymore because my last relationship, I did that. You know, let me just be happy. Let me be happy. I haven't been happy in a long time, man.
Caesar. Live your
Let
best
me be
life.
happy,
Be
like
happy.
at least one time. At least let me try this, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work.
All right, Caesar, we're going to turn.
It is an interesting question, though, as to why Caesar would date in this way. What is he running away from? What's he running toward? Because there are so many other ways to date. You would think that if he really was trying to find someone, that he would look in his town or within a certain number of miles from his town, where it'd be so much easier to really explore a relationship and find. I'm sure someone within his region would be up for trying to date him. So what is it? Is it some sort of thing that, because sometimes people on the show are running away. They've had a lot of negative experiences dating in their hometown, and they conclude it has to do with geography and location and culture and nothing to do with just luck of the draw or their own issues or the sort of people they choose to date. So they'll date outside the country thinking that everything will be wonderful, and it rarely is, of course. Their problems go across borders, if you will. Their problems stick with them, and conflict ensues. So is it that, or is he actually looking to control someone? Is he looking for someone that will need him and he can manipulate or something? I don't know. It's a lot of questions. They never really go into it in the show. They just stay kind of on the surface with Caesar. All right, well, that is it for that episode. Everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.